The Heritage Architecture of Himachal Pradesh. Submitted to Shikla Ma'am, submitted by Aaingini. What is architecture? Architecture is the art and technique of designing and building as distinguished from the skills associated with construction. The practice of architecture is employed to fulfill both practical and expressive requirements, and thus it is series both utilitarian and architectural. The architecture of Himachal Pradesh is unique in character and is quite different from that of the rest of India. This exclusive style is reflected not only in the palaces and the temples but also in the vernacular architecture of the region. Hinduism is the dominant region of this place, and thus the major portion of architecture of Himachal Pradesh comprises Hindu sculptures. The types of architecture: Katkuni architecture, Daji Diwari architecture, dry stone architecture, and mud architecture are the main types of architecture of Himachal Pradesh. The traditional architecture has always made the best use of locally available materials. Builders in the plains of Bengal preferred terracotta as clay was plentiful in the riverine land. Similarly, builders in the high Himalayas depended on wood and stone. The artisans developed their own style while using the locally available material. One such style is the now vanishing Katkuni woodwork of Himachal Pradesh. From scenic views and historical attractions, the popular Kulu Manali circuit is also home to some of the fast vanishing indigenous wooden architecture of Himachal Pradesh, especially the Katkuni style. From homesteads to temples, once upon a time it was very popular in the region. Years of neglect and ill-advised renovation, as well as advent of modern building materials, have almost dealt a death blow to this vernacular art. The Katkuni style of architecture has its specimens of which are prevalent in the districts of Shimla, Kinnaur and Kulu. The architectures of the houses in Himachal Pradesh are dictated by traditional rituals, beliefs and ceremonies. The geographical location and the vegetation of the state plays an imperative role in the evolution and the development of various architectural forms. The cedar forests have made the construction of wooden structures possible which can endure long periods of weather, corrosion, etc. During the historical periods, Himachal Pradesh came under the rule of different dynasties. The Hindu temples in the towns of Chamba, Barmor and hill station Manali speak volumes about the richness of the architecture of the place. After the advent of the British rule in India, Himachal Pradesh became the home of some of the best colonial architectural styles in India. Shimla, the state capital, has some of the exquisite architecture of the British. The Katkuni traditional construction technique involves layering courses of wood and rubble masonry alternatively. This not only helps to distribute the weight of the building evenly, but also helps to form a thick layer of cavity on the walls that provide excellent thermal insulation in extreme weather conditions. This technique is widely used throughout the state for the construction of various typologies of buildings. The Viceregal Lodge. This is a historic monument in Shimla which served as a summer residence of the British Viceroy from 1888 to 1946. This displays the unification of the English Renaissance and the Victorian architectural style. Post-independence, it was served as the Rashtrapati Niwas till 1960, after which it was converted into the Indian Institute of Advanced Study. The use of local sandstone and light blue sandstone render a greyish look to this magnificent building. The facades are adorned with columns, arches and mullioned windows. With great ornamental detailing, this mansion has lavish interiors with teak staircases and flooring. The use of Kashmiri linings on the walnut ceilings and the walls add a final Himachali touch to the mansion. The Kalka-Shimla Railway Line. The Kalka-Shimla Railway Line is a narrow gauge railway in Himachal Pradesh which covers a total length of 96 km and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This railway line was set up by the British and is lined with 18 stations that have a unique architectural heritage attached to themselves. The stations, along with their rest houses, are beautiful gable structures. Set amidst the picturesque valleys of the Himalayas, they have influences of both British and Indian cultures and are an absolute delight to anyone who visits them and loves architecture. The Hidimba Devi Cave Temple. This is dedicated to the Hidimba Devi and having references in the Mahabharata. This temple is built on a huge rock amid thick deodar trees in Manali. Built entirely out of wood, this temple has a ground floor and a three-floored roof. The sanctum of the temple is covered by a roof 24 meters high and built in pagoda style. The uppermost part of the roof is decorated with motifs of Buddhist characters that give it a multicultural identity. The temple base is made of whitewashed mud covered with stone, using vernacular techniques of construction. In 1967, this temple was a monument of national importance. The Tabo Monastery. This monastery is located in the Lahore and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh and is one of the most spiritual UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world. Founded in 999 AD by the Buddhist king Yeshe-od, this is the oldest functional Buddhist monastery in India. Constructed using mud and bricks, this complex of the monastery is home to various chapels, stupas, and ancient cave meditation centers. Influenced by both Indian and Tibetan cultures, the wall paintings in the monastery have a unique regional character in themselves. The Bhima Kali Temple. This is a 800-year-old temple complex located at the center of the Sarahan village. It's an iconic symbol of the Bushat royal family. It is one of the few specimens of the tower temple typology in India. Built entirely out of stone and deodar wood, this complex holds the main temple dedicated to goddess Bhima Kali. A few smaller temples, a guest house, and an old palace and twin towers. The entire temple complex is adorned with elaborate wood and silver carvings on the facades, intricately carved wooden brackets for balconies, and wooden chimes that produce soothing sounds as they oscillate to the wind. The Masroor Rock Cut Temple. The Masroor Rock Cut temples are monolithic structures carved out of a 2,500-foot high natural sandstone rock. These Indo-Aryan temples of rare antiquity are built in the Nagara style of temple architecture and are located in the Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh. The mandapas and the sanctums of all the temples are fully carved, predominantly with open lotuses. The walls remain bare, and it's estimated that the temple complex and the ornamentation were never fully completed. Though the major temples in the complex are in a surviving form, many sculptures and reliefs have been lost due to the earthquakes. Houses in Himachal Pradesh. The architecture of houses in Himachal Pradesh is heavily influenced by culture, topography, and high altitude environmental conditions. The house architecture has been imbibed elements of Buddhist monasteries and Brahminical stone temples. Archaeological and anthropological studies have revealed that architecture in Himachal Pradesh has religio-cultural influences from diverse sources. The houses are constructed in Kathkuni style. In the traditional Kathkuni style of architecture, the walls are built by laying two square-sectioned wooden beams longitudinally at some distance and are lap-jointed by cross joints. Chiseled stone blocks are placed between the square-sectioned wooden beams. The traditional architecture is giving way to the modern cement concrete based homes, as building a home in Kathkuni style can cost you about 3 times more than the modern ones. Thank you.